Hey everybody, this is Bran'sTech, and this video I'm exploring in the world of Apple. Okay, so what I mean by this is I will be looking at the different Macs. So I know what you might be saying. Well, it says it right there: MacBook, MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, iMac, Mac Pro, Mac Mini. Okay, yeah, well, that basically went through the entire video, but it's more. So you probably heard of the MacBook Air, the iMac, and the MacBook. Those are probably all the ones you heard of. Maybe. Because those are the most popular. Because the Mac Pro is also for the server, for Mac OS 10 server. Although you may be wondering, if you're not an Apple person, such as I am, as you can see, hello Siri. This has been long overdue. But maybe one. What exactly are all of these Macs for? Because they want you to have all of them. Because if you notice with the iPhones, iPads, and the Apple Watch, Apple TV, you may, if you look at it very close, they all work together. So you may be asking, why? But why are there so many Macs and so many iOS products? I'll do the iOS products in a few minutes, but probably in another video. But I wanted to talk about the Macs and what the differences are. Hold on. Okay, so the Mac. Okay, so let me go through this in the order of the way they were made. The Mac Mini is made for if you're just coming from Windows. Because if you're just coming from Windows, you don't have any experience with the Mac. So why start off with anything else? Because with the Mac Mini, you can do it on Windows hardware. Now, there is no such thing as Windows hardware necessarily, unless you get something actually from Microsoft, like a Microsoft mouse and keyboard. However, when I'm talking about Windows hardware, in this case, I am specifically talking, well, I'm specifically talking, mm, uh, okay. I'm specifically talking about the desktop monitor, mouse, keyboard, speakers. They all work with the Mac Mini. Well, it's supposed to work with the Mac Mini because the Mac Mini would be the only Apple product on that list, probably because, well, Apple does not make everything, or whoever they have making it for them. And there actually may be a Mac, and if you click on Learn More, which am about to do in a minute, you can actually read this. This is, again, this is apple.com/Mac hyphen mini slash backslash, I believe. And OSS El Capitan is running on it now. And Apple does actually keep these up to date, unlike Microsoft, who makes you usually pay for Windows, except for Windows 10 in their updates. Okay, so the Mac Mini. Okay, I still have a good 6 minutes. So, oh, oops. The Mac Mini is made for that. And let me click on Learn More. So it is a full functioning computer with the Intel Core processors, graphic, fast graphics, and even though it says faster, I wonder if it means faster than a regular PC because it says faster, but it's not saying what it's comparing to. It's a Thunderbolt 2, Wi-Fi, and a whole bunch of ports. Everything you would expect for a Mac. In case you don't know what a Mac is, let me quickly explain. It is, well, Apple equivalent to Windows, but is talking about the hardware necessarily because the software is OS 10. Well, currently OS 10 El Capitan, but it is ran as OS X, the X being the Roman numeral for 10, as they're using in this case. And here is the different graphics from the previous ones. It actually has high capacity, and on the and it does have a fusion drive with 1 terabyte for the 999 model, and it does have Thunderbolt, so the fastest according to them for desktop. And this is actually their desktop. As you can see, they packed it really small, just like the Chromebook. It does have USB 3. I'm assuming USB 3.0, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, yeah, and like it says, it actually is well connected. And over here is the Gigabyte Ethernet, HDMI, Thunderbolt, USB 3, and the SDXC card slot. The reason I'm talking so fast is because these videos can usually only last for about 10 minutes. And just talking about one, I am already at 7 minutes. So this might be a long video because I may have to combine a whole bunch of different slots. Now, when it says USB 3, it does actually have well, 4 USBs, but it's probably talking about USB 3.0. Usually, when you're talking about USBs, you're supposed to put the point .0, but I mean, thinking about it really doesn't matter. And I'm assuming these two, and it says third party because, as you can see up here, this is from NFC, NEC. My bad. This is probably Logitech, the mouse, and I'm assuming the keyboard's also Logitech. And as it says here, no screen's too big. And wow. So you can even hook it up to a HD TV. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so this is all because of the built-in HDMI port. Because you only need the one cable. And you can play iTunes on it and everything. It works well with iOS products, as I have heard. And then it can connect to speakers using AirPort, which I'll probably talk about some in a video soon, if I remember. Okay, and wow, I only have 1 minute left. Well, let me go to the next one on the list, right for the next 10 minutes, about what is necessarily next. Okay, so I'm going to actually get back to this, starting with the MacBook Air in the next video. I mean, in the next recording in this video. Thank you and have a great day. Hey everybody, this is Bran'sTech, and I am continuing about 2 hours later. So I was well, not talking to Apple, but I was figuring out about Mac models. I kind of got distracted, and then I started looking at the Apple Connect, which I should probably go make a video about right afterwards. And apparent, and that I was also wondering about Boot Camp and OS Mac OS Sierra, which is the successor to the to OSS El Capitan. Okay, so about all that talking, well, okay, so now is for comparing the Mac models. So, oh yeah, and heads, oh yeah, and just in case you were wondering, the reason why I show my entire screen and not just you know the Chrome is because I wanted to show the time that it took to make these. So now when I used to watch these type of videos, I would always wonder. I'd be, I'd look at them and well, this is easy, but after doing this for a while, this takes a really long time. I mean, because especially even with like 10-minute videos, that still takes about an hour or so for me to publish, especially trying to add my intro in with the YouTube editor or movie maker. But anyway, let me go ahead and go on before I run out of time over here. I already wasted 2 minutes. So I have 8 minutes left to explain all of these models. So I already have looked at the Mac Mini, which is the starter computer made for PC hardware, and there's nothing else. So next is the MacBook Air, and the first two MacBook Airs is the 11 inch and the 13 inch, starting at 899, going up to 999. They are laptops, and let me actually, I need to duplicate this and put this up here. Uh, the MacBook Air. And everybody confused Lightning for Thunderbolt because, well, they both have contain Lightning and Thunder. I believe Thunderbolt, well, not made by Apple, but made for Apple as well as Lightning. But yeah, the 11 inch starts at 899, while the 13 inch starts at 999. And they are made for light usage. Well, hold on. Everybody considers them light usage, but they're made for light to moderate computer usage. And that went pretty fast compared to the 10 minutes I took for the Mac Mini. So now for the MacBook Pro 13 inch. I've actually made this on a little chart. That because on the website there is a compare Mac models. I just wrote down everything I need on the chart. So some of these, I am doing these by series. Although I think with the iMac I've actually had it split. Okay, but without further ado, to the MacBook Pro series. Going up here to Mac, and then MacBook Pro. I love these animations over here. And I'm not actually doing the one with the Retina display. This is, and I know here it keeps talking about Force Touch and all of that stuff. But let me go up here to Mac Compare. This is the one I'm looking at. One that's highlighted. The MacBook Pro 13 inch starting at 1,099 or 1,099, I should say. In And here's about it was last updated in 2012. It is made for hard usage. with a and it does have a super port, which is the Apple version. Because you know Apple, they do actually make their own brands of everything that already exists, such as the MacBook is their brand of laptops. But the super port is just a CD DVD drive, and it is the only remaining not both the only remaining MacBook and the only remaining Mac with the super drive built in. It was last updated in 2012, as I said before, and it has a lot of the older hardware. Now, if you may notice, it does look a little bulkier than the other two next to it, and this is the only one without the Retina display. Well, that's what Apple calls the Retina display. Okay, still have about 4 minutes left of this part. Next, actually, do take a while to explain. Okay, so and then also that it has a hard drive or solid state drive, while the other ones have flash storage, which I believe is actually a type of SSD, solid state drive. Okay, and the reason why I'm talking so fast is because I'm kind of on a time crunch, and I do not want to have to make a third video. Okay, so I have about 5 minutes left. Okay, so next on the list is, let me see. Okay, the iMac without Retina display. The iMac 21.5 inch right here. And this is, if you are looking, this is actually the one I have printed out. I put a number by each of them so I will remember. So the iMac 21.5 inch, it is made with a lower resolution display than the other iMacs. Now this is actually not, its own series. It's part with the other iMacs. And this one, it actually is pretty new, but is made to. There's no reason now with the MacBook Pro. In order, the reason to get the one without the Retina display is for the Super Drive. However, with this iMac without the Retina display, it is made to just save on the cost. Because iMacs are so popular, and this is also made for light to moderate use, and they are both recently updated. So I can't really read my handwriting at the moment. And of course, I only have 2 minutes left. Okay, and then with all the iMacs, and I will mention this again later on, is they are faster than the MacBook Pro. Well, it's faster than the MacBook Pro with Retina display, which is actually the fastest MacBook Pro out there. And then next is, okay, 1 minute. And actually, I'm going to stop right here and continue the next one. Hey, everybody. Okay, so hopefully this is the last one. And I'm going to actually try to start editing my videos a little smoother. But this is the third video I've had for this one because I have a time limit and I am out of storage on Google Drive. Okay, just went ahead and published that because since I have no more storage, like I just said, I should probably go ahead and publish part two. So next I have is the, let me see, talked about the iMac and all that stuff. Okay, so I've done the Mac Mini, then the MacBook Airs, the MacBook Pros, and the iMac. So now is for the MacBook. Okay, so the MacBook. You may be saying, "Oh yeah, which one?" It's actually called the MacBook. Uh, so the MacBook. I'm actually gonna go ahead and compare this to the MacBook Pro. In this case, the MacBook is the newest one out there and is made for cutting edge technology. Is the newest model out there, and although it won't is made as the newest model, and they want this to be the newest, the newest series is actually just a revived series. It will not always be the newest, and it is silent, completely silent because it has no fans. It's fanless, and it's also the thinnest MacBook out there. Now, and for its outputs, there is only one port, which is USB Type C, or as Apple calls it, USB Port C, because they changed the name on everything. But as you can see here, on the left is the MacBook, and on the right side is a MacBook Pro 13-inch, the one without the Retina display. And the MacBook beats the MacBook Pro on almost every single one, except for on the other features. It does not have a HD camera. It does not have the three USB ports like the MacBook Pro does. It does not have a FireWire. It does not have a Thunderbolt port. They have the same Bluetooth. It does not have gigabit Ethernet. Although the MacBook does have the butterfly mechanism on the full size backlit keyboard. I do not believe Macs do. I believe Macs do not have the numeric keypad like Windows computers do on their full size keyboards. Although I think iMacs actually may have them. Although you do have Force Touch on the MacBook, while on the MacBook Pro you just have multi touch. Force Touch is the same as well, I think it's called Force Touch, isn't it? The 3D Touch on the iPhone 6S. And but the MacBook does not have a SDXC card slot. It does not have a super drive like the MacBook Pro does, or the MacBook Pro 13, the one in this comparison, because the super drive it requires an adapter because there's no USB port, USB A ports. But you need the external super drive, so you end up spending more. And both of them do run OS 10 El Capitan, both with the same software such as iPhoto, well, now called Photos, iMovie, GarageBand, Pages, Numbers, and Keynote. And if you notice over here, the so-called rose gold, which is actually pink, because rose gold does not look like that. And hold on for a second. Okay, sorry about that. And don't forget that the software they put on there is not the same. And the MacBook is the only version that does not have the light up Apple. Well, besides iOS devices, unless you trick them out. They do not want you to trick them out, though. And of course, the MacBook Pro only comes in one color. And there's actually a gold edition of the MacBook. But this is leading on to the next one I'm looking at, which is the MacBook Pros, which is actually the method behind my magnet. The MacBook Pro with Retina display is the next series up here. It does have Force Touch, better battery life, and faster flash storage, as it says up here. But then something else I wanted to mention was that it's made for heavy usage for video editing, 3D design, and gaming, as I was told from Apple. And it has a faster processor, more RAM, faster graphics, faster storage, thinner, and it is has a much better battery than the MacBook Pro without the Retina display, the one with the Super Drive. So, but both types of MacBooks are pretty great. Now they do not actually advertise the regular MacBook Pro anymore because they want you to get the Retina display so they can wear away the Super Drive. But in case you still want that one, that's still there. And of course, the thing everyone likes is the Retina display. And of course, as I just looked up, the Retina displays are the same ones on that have been on the iPhone since the iPhone 4. As you can see here, this is the difference that someone has done. This is the iPhone 4, and this is the iPhone 3GS. The pixels, you can, and the difference is that you can see the pixels more clear on the one. Hold on. Okay, there I was. Okay, so it's a stunning Retina display, as everyone knows, and it has the Force Touch, which I said before is the same as the 3D Touch. Just the Mac. This is just the Mac edition. Well, 3D Touch is for the iPhones, and I think I'll have to make another video. And it basically is the same thing. And this is like I said before, this is the Apple website. In case you want to look at this, and this, like I said before, this is one of the best ones out there. Okay, and then for next, which is the seventh one, we are going to the regular iMacs. The next video. Again. Hey everybody. Okay, so hopefully this is the last one. We have the regular iMacs with the Retina display. And as you can see, they are huge. One has the 4K display with the 21.5 inch, while the other one is 27 inch with a 5K display. And if you can see right here, the original iMac was here. The 1080p HD was here, and the 4K and 5K is all the way out there. And as it says there, if with and the iPhone 6s also does 4K video, and the iMac with Retina display, iMovie, and Final Cut Pro has the resolution as well, so you can edit in 4K. Now, I'm not sure that means that it has to have a 4K display in order to edit. That really wouldn't make any sense, but well, I guess it would. But anyway, is innovation that's cutting edge, and and so from my notes, the there's actually different specs for both models. While the iMac 21.5 inch is with the 4K display is for light to moderate use, the iMac 27 inch with the 5K display with Retina is for video editing, 3D rendering, gaming, or if you just like a large screen. And all the iMacs are faster than the MacBook Pro with the Retina display. And the iMac 21.5 inch was recently updated, along with the regular iMac without the Retina display. And the Fusion drive can go up to 3 terabytes. That is pretty big. Even with me, where I go over 400 gigabytes, I still have within. I actually don't know how many gigabytes are on my computer hard drive, the HP Pavilion. This is not the one I'm using. The one I'm using right now has 1 terabyte. But I'm not sure how much my laptop has. And of course, it comes with. Well, I'm pretty sure it comes with the Magic Keyboard, Magic Mouse 2, and the Magic Trackpad 2. The Magic Key. Now, these are all Bluetooth, which is why they're called Magic, because they didn't require a USB adapter, which was pretty advanced for the time. While many stuff was just while then really only mobile devices use Bluetooth. And the Magic Keyboard, of course, I believe comes with it. And the trackpad is made with Force Touch and is actually made like the screen on the iPhone and other iOS devices. I still have a good 5 minutes. And the Magic Mouse 2 actually has the same type of trackpad. Well, it is the same type of touch as it does as the trackpad on the regular iPad. I mean, the MacBook Pro with multi touch, which is actually pretty cool. And you can put in headphone jack, SDXC, free, USB free, and there is 4 of them, two Thunderbolt 2, and gigabit internet. Ethernet, of course, is well, it's not the world's most advanced desktop. Well, sort of is the for desktop. It might be. I think it's the most advanced, but it's also kind of standard, while Windows 10 is actually kind of better. Of course, it has the built-in apps. I'm not going to go over them all, and it does. And without the MacBook and without the Retina display, it starts at the 99. But the one we are looking at in this particular part is 1499 starting point. And no, it's not 1499 such as that price. 1499 is the price, starting price. So be aware, it's not like less than $20. 14.99, and of course you probably know that. And then next is the Mac Pro. Now a lot of people have heard of the Mac Pro, but this is how it looks like. Whoa. Okay, I've not actually seen that website. It looks nice. Website. I'm not gonna talk about until after this presentation is done, but I'm just gonna show this for about a minute. Whoa. Whoa. This is nice. Mm. Okay, so the Mac Pro, it is a fully desktop device, unlike the Mac Air, I mean the Mac Mini, which is made for uh well, a device this great deserves its own video. Okay. Hey everybody. Okay, so this should be the last one. We had the Mac Pro. So the Mac Pro is a fully desktop device, as I said before. And unlike the Mac Mini, which it's a desktop, but where you can actually just move it around. Even though this is also that size, it's not meant for you to move because it's so advanced. So this is actually like the iMac, actually, where you don't move it. Well, unless you're moving. But it's definitely not like a MacBook, where you move it because it's a laptop. This is a desktop. Just it's actually the only Mac right now that actually looks like a computer tower, like seen on a desktop from a PC. And this is made for extremely heavy use. And of course, it is. the most advanced Mac yet, as you can probably see. And some people were asking how come all the Macs are white. This is the only black Mac available. So I'm assuming if black means most advanced, I'm assuming you can also get the regular MacBook in somewhat of a black. But some of the stuff it wants you to do with it is 3D rendering, editing videos in 4K, and music production from more than one track. And of course, it is the fastest and it is very powerful. You can also use this for OS 10 base server with 64 gigabytes of RAM. 64. I mean, that is a lot anywhere. But the Mac Pro is actually pretty great. I've actually never heard of it before, but yeah. Okay, so you maybe want. Okay, so I said all of these probably for 40 minutes actually. Okay, so probably 32 right now, but well, it'll be less than 40 because these actually cut off before the 10-minute mark. But anyway, so you may want. So which one should I get? It really depends on your personal preference. If you like to move your laptop, your computer around, you should get a MacBook. Which MacBook? If you like the most advanced stuff yet, get the regular MacBook. If you are a heavy user, I recommend, and you want to move around, you should, or if you're just a heavy user in general, you should get the MacBook with Retina display. But if you re, if you don't want to pay the extra money for the MacBook, get the MacBook without the Retina display. It's not as advanced as the regular MacBook, but it does come with the Super Drive. And of course, if you want the desktop experience, I recommend getting the iMac because it is an all-in-one. Of course, iMac is not touchscreen, and neither are any of the other MacBooks. However, I'm assuming with the Mac Mini, maybe even the Mac Pro, you could probably, well, especially the Mac Mini, if you want touchscreen, you might actually be able to get one. Although, if you have light use, I recommend getting the MacBook Air. It is, and also it is pretty cheap. Now, if you are an extreme user or you need to use the server edition, get the Mac Pro. And also that if you don't mind spending a whole bunch of money, because the Mac Pro compared to the one that is right below this, it is $1,000 extra, starting at $2,999. It's the starting price. Now this is the desk is the tower, nothing else. And I think that is actually it. It really doesn't matter about the IMAX. However, if you want the cheapest one, I recommend getting the one without the Retina display. And I hope you like this. If you had any more questions that I did not answer or that I did not finish explaining, please tell me in the comments below and I'll try to help you as much as I can. I'm not an Apple person, so finding an Apple review for me is actually pretty rare. But I will try to do as many um, you want. But but I don't mind doing these Apple comparison or reviews or just looking at. And thank you for watching for the for almost 40 minutes. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.